Very well.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Website Wednesday with one piece of hair sticking up. How are you, Teresa?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's Wednesday in the middle of the week. Yay. We're halfway through, almost. Another hour or two, I'm halfway through. So what are we talking about today?
So today I thought we would just kind of keep it simple and talk about creating a lasting first impression on your website. And I'm trying to keep it simple, but this is one of those areas that either we ignore or we overcomplicate. And so I wanted to just kind of touch base and bring everybody back to it, because what I see happening a lot of times is, like I said, we either ignore it and we lose some really awesome opportunities because people land on our website. They don't really know what's going on or what we do or how we can help them or whatever. It's not real inviting. It's not real welcoming. And they hop right back off. So that adds to the bounce rate. Yes. Or we tell them everything. We're like, here is everything I want you to know about everything I've ever done. And so we've got to find that kind of balance. And then there's actually a third, where we try to stand out by being really super clever. Clever over clear, first of all, is never
I hate that.
Good. Never a good approach. It really isn't. And you really want to try and avoid that cleverness. You have to be a little bit clever, but not over the fact of being clear. And so really the first thing is what we're talking about here too is above the fold. The instant somebody lands on their website, what do they see? And this is something that I will do with my clients. I do it with myself often. The minute somebody lands on my website, I'll go in every couple months and be like, what do they see? Is this what I want them to see? And is this what I want them to do? Because you also want to give them a call to action. And so taking a look at your website, what is that first impression? Does it clearly define what you do? And does it give them an action to take to get started?
It's so hard to be clear and concise on the website, right? I mean, mine is turning into a monster and we have to edit again. It's a constant battle, right? So I feel like sometimes people get very, very uptight about it, where it's not perfect. I have to work on it constantly. And other times I feel like, you know what? How many people are actually landing on it? And let's put it in perspective and let's do an audit every 6 months or once a quarter or even once a year. Because otherwise it's constant.
Yeah. And honestly, I recommend quarterly if your business is in a change or, a system of flux and change. If you have a lot of changes going on, if you're really trying to define your niche and you're kind of shifting and changing, then I think quarterly is ideal. Honestly, twice a year, most of the time, is fabulous, because unless you have a lot of change going on, you'll have some change once you settle into things, but twice a year works for most people. And if your business is really solid and really set, once a year is plenty.
I think so. Too. It's that lasting first impression, though, I feel like is so key. I still go to people's websites and I don't see their picture. Or I don't it doesn't capture me because I'm not. And as a body language trainer too, I look for images of somebody who's looking at me, not away from me. And not on every page, you can have different pictures of yourself, but I want that lasting first impression to me could mean something different to someone else. But if I'm trying to attract the people who will work well with me, I have to make sure that I'm making an impression based on who I am. Like your website has to be just as much authentically you as all your social media.
Hands down, absolutely. And the other thing too that I encourage people is, what do you want people to feel when they land on your website? What do you want them to feel? Do you want them to feel, like for our interior designers, do you want them to feel that they just stepped into their ideal dream living room? Do you want them to feel that they've been seen and heard, like with you, like you've got your smiling face and you're right there at the top of your website and you're like, hey, I can help you with this stuff.
That's actually a great question, by the way. I don't know if you use it when you're doing people's websites, which if you don't like your website, reach out to Teresa, because everyone I've referred to you loves what you do. But I love that question. How do you want people to feel when they hit your website? And the first thing that popped into my head was, I want them to feel like they're being taken care of. I don't know if my website does that, but that's what happened when you said that question. I'm like, I want them to feel like I've got you, and there's all these resources for you, and
But
you
we'll
can
look
get
to
to
make
me
sure.
right
Yeah.
away.
I'll look
What?
to make sure. But I feel like, because I know you too, and that gets a little bit tricky slope, but
Right.
you're right there front and center and says, hey, I have these
Right.
resources for you. I have this available to you. I'm right there for you. I want people to feel at ease and comfortable and welcome, that they have a tech support person who is not a Martian, who's going to get them, who's going to be a real person and take care of them.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I look at, and why I'm updating the message on my own website right now. And so, yeah.
It's important because it always pops in my head. There's this one company I reached out to who does bookkeeping for interior designers and bookkeeping for coaches, which are my two avatars basically. And when I went to their website, I have no idea who the people behind the website are. I felt like it was cold, and I know it's accounting and bookkeeping, and it's not the warmest thing in the world, but I wanted to feel like I knew who was behind the website and I knew what to expect if I hired them. And all I got was this clinical feeling.
And even accountants, my accountant, his website says it's Fair Tax Inc., and where taxes are fun and fair.
Oh, see, I love that.
You
See,
know,
that is a lasting first impression.
lasting first impression. And when you walk into his office, it's fun. And like the imagery he uses, everything, the way they greet you, the way that they take care of you, they follow through. So what they do in their website, they absolutely do in their office as well. And yes, absolutely, people want to be feel heard and understood, and that's why you don't want to get so crazy on the clever aspect of things, because they're going to feel confused and
Exactly.
heard
Exactly.
and
They're
understood.
going to feel confused. And I think that's the biggest thing. We're trying to, and I fall into this category too, trying to shove in so much information. It's like, okay, am I covering all bases? But then now, if you step away and come back, you go, oh, there's way too much information
There's
here.
way too much going
Yeah.
on here.
Yeah. We have to, I know on mine, I have to start editing. Editing is the hardest thing to do because you want to put all the testimonials and all the pictures and all your history. But at the same time, like, what do people really care about when they're coming to your website? That's the answer you have to have.
What is it that they really need, and how can you support that, and how can you show that instantly when you put all the things out there right up front? It really doesn't do it. And when it's cold and clinical, people don't feel seen or heard, for sure. I'm sure that's the case, when it's very cold and clinical like that.
Yeah.
We want to welcome people in. I often say, use your website, the above the fold homepage as the front door. If you had a brick and mortar place, how do you want people feeling when they come in? You walk into a clothing boutique, instantly, like my favorite boutique. I know when I go into Chelsea's, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to be greeted, I'm going to get taken care of, I'm going to get babied, and I'm going to have some really cute clothes in the end. Like, all of that is communicated in her front door. I know this is going to happen. That's why I first went in there years ago, and how we became friends later on.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's the same thing with your website. So
it is the same thing. Okay, everyone. So go take a look at your websites and see if you are creating a lasting first impression by making it warm and welcoming and figuring out what you want a client to feel when they go to your website. And if you think you might be off base, reach out to Teresa. I know you're doing consults still, Teresa, right?
absolutely. Mondays are my consult days. You get a 30-minute chat with me on your consult, so we can really dive in and talk about your website and your goals and what it is that what you want to accomplish with your website. What do you want to do, and where do you want to go with it, and what's your vision for the future, so your website actually is supporting that.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, Teresa, thank you. Reach out to Teresa at Web Designs by Teresa if you need me to help you become a more profitable business owner, grow your business, marketing, sales, and all that fun stuff. I do that all as a business coach. Reach out to me at my website, which Teresa did for me, nancyganzekaufer.com. All right, everyone, I will speak to you next Wednesday, and have a great week. And if you haven't seen, I am doing another elevator pitch challenge called Your Business in Words. This one is just for interior designers, and there is a link somewhere in my group that is applicable, the Interior Design Business Forum. Get in there. There was over 150 people last time, and it was so much fun. And people came away with such clarity and used it on their website then that I hope anyone who's stuck will go in there as well. Get clear and concise on what you do, who you help, how you help them, so that you can attract your ideal client all the time.
Great exercise to get clarity and to use for your website. I can always tell when somebody's done your business in words.
Yes.
Yeah, they kept trying, like, oh, you did it. Yay.
Yay. Yeah, because it's like the beginning of their branding process. It really helps give that clarity. So I'll post a link again for those of you who are interested, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.